Welcome back to the Weekend Express. We are speaking to young millionaire Samson Kariuki, who managed to make a business out of his passion for music. And Samson, just before we went on break, we were speaking about your challenges in entrepreneurship. But let's now speak about the music industry in Kenya. Of course, we'll be taking a look at some of the videos and music that you've produced. But what is your assessment of the music industry in Kenya? How well is it doing?
There is a problem in the industry because even some of the big artists in Kenya complain a lot about the airplay. Because I remember one big artist said, let's check our radio stations and our TV stations now and see what they are playing. And they were all playing music not from Kenya. From Nigeria, from abroad. There's nothing wrong with playing artists from abroad or artists who are not Kenyan, but we need to play more Kenyan. Yeah, there are a number of complaints even from some of the big studios and the big producers about how difficult it is to push an upcoming artist. I believe it is time we need to appreciate our own music and play Kenyan, if possible 95%, to build our own local artists. So I think there's a big problem with allocation being given to Kenyan artists. We need to build our own, we need to play Kenyan music, we need to be proud of our own Ohangla and not wait for Victoria Beckham to come and appreciate our own music. Yeah, it's high time we loved our own music.
But why do you think it's so hard to get the airplay? Because many media houses would complain, or just many Kenyans rather, would complain that Kenyan artists are copycats, not original. Do you think these are valid reasons?
I don't think so, because whatever Kenyan artists produce, if we play it, we will be encouraging them to do more music. I am sure today, if you air some of the videos I've produced, some artists somewhere will be encouraged to do some more music. And as well, if you play and critique, artists will improve. I like one of my artists took a video to the media. It was played, but he was told improve on this and this. Yeah, and the artist has improved on that. I believe it's good to play Kenyan music, no matter how it is. That is our music. And by playing it, we will be appreciating our own, and we will encourage the artists to write good songs and better songs. Because I still believe from the artist side, I believe in the recent future, our Kenyan artists also are doing well to produce better quality music that is airworthy. But at the same time, I believe no matter the quality of the music, we need to encourage our Kenyan artists. Because sometimes somebody can just play the nyatiti with nothing else and sing, and that music is played and hits.
Right, and then encouragement doesn't come just from getting, airtime or airplay. It's also from issues of remuneration, because we've had so many complaints of Kenyan artists who sign up with sign record deals, but they're never paid, or they really have to follow up on their pay. And of course, music production is not the cheapest thing to do. You need to pay for a video to be done. You need to pay for dancers or whatnot. So, just within the industry itself, is that support being witnessed?
In Kenya, the music industry is not structured in a way that people can make good money. Because, as a music producer, I expect, if the industry was doing so well, I expect maybe some promoters are looking for talented artists to sponsor. The way they do in Nigeria, we have millionaires who sponsor artists. But in Kenya, it's artists who sponsor themselves. The artist does everything. He writes the song, he looks for a studio to go to, and he manages himself, he looks for shows for himself. that is too much for an artist. I believe, you know, like in America, I admire what artists from America do. You don't have to be the one writing the song.
Right.
There's someone who writes the song. We have lyricists, people who are very good in writing lyrics, who, some people, the songwriters give the melody, and there's some people who are assigned to put lyrics, and you're just given the song to sing. You just learn the song. But in Kenya or in East Africa, or let me say in Africa, you almost do everything. It is very, you know, songwriting and singing are two different talents.
Right.
Being good in lyrics, that's a different talent altogether.
And most times you find an artist wanting to juggle both, and somehow, you know, something becomes amiss there.
In Kenya, in East Africa, people are proud of saying, I'm the one who wrote the song. For me, it doesn't matter who wrote the song. If it's a good song, people will dance to the song. If Michelle writes the song and Samji sings the song, it doesn't matter. So I believe it's good to appreciate what you can do and what you cannot do. And I say, I think I'm a good songwriter, but I say, if I feel like I stop doing good songs or writing good songs, then I will consult some people and buy their songs, because there are artists who are willing to sell their songs.
Right.
As long as it's a good song and they sell it to me and I sing it, I don't see any problem in that. If you can't write a good song, kindly buy a song.
So basically, there's hope. There's hope for, you know, we have people who have a passion in music. You know, I would say I like music, but I can't sing. You know, so there's hope for people, you know, with such, you have a passion for writing, but you cannot sing, you don't have the vocals. You can still be in the music industry.
Yeah, sure. But we have not grown to that level.
Right.
Like last week, in the course of this week, an artist approached me and told me, I write good bongo songs. So if you hear of an artist who wants to buy some songs, I can sell my songs to him. And I love that. You don't have to be the one to sing.
Right.
You can write a song and give it to somebody else. And you don't have to be the one to write. Because I'm sorry to say, we also have some big artists who are writing nothing. The songs they are singing, they are not up to the level. You can call them good songs. If I were them, I would look for somebody who has a good song and buy the song.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so as a music producer, what are some of the challenges you notice with upcoming or aspiring musicians who want to make a living off their music? Because like I mentioned earlier, most of them don't treat it like a business. They treat it like a passion. So you find that they don't succeed in it as a business because they don't have business plans. They don't quite have a laid out plan for what they want. So what are some of the challenges that you notice with these artists?
You know, with upcoming artists, sometimes they don't know the studio to go to. And the decisions they make cost them. A good decision will help you a lot and will take you far. A bad decision will get you stuck. So sometimes the studios they choose to go and record, it messes them up. Because sometimes, because they don't have capital, they go for studios that charge 2,000,
Right.
5,000 a song. And I ask artists, why do you think a good studio is charging 10,000 and 15,000 and 20,000 and 30,000 a song? And why is another producer charging 2,000 a song? You should ask yourself a question.
Right.
It's because of the time they spend on your song. If you want a producer to spend good time on your song, then you have to pay well. And I tell them, sometimes I refuse some money. I say, I can't take that because I know the kind of quality I want to produce for you. It's quality that you'll take to KTN. It's quality that you'll take to Radio Maisha.
Right.
And they say it's good quality. But if you find a producer who's accepting some little money, be wary because they will not spend time on your music.
Right.
There are some producers, my friends, that some are not serious with their job. Some say, I take 30 minutes to mix a song. I don't believe you can take 30 minutes to mix a song that you want to be international.
Right.
Yeah, you'll take even 10 hours or more to mix a song to an international standard. And for you to spend that time, you will not be able to charge some kind of money. You will charge a little higher.
Right,
Sure.
right. And now let's talk about what you think the music industry in Kenya needs. But before that, just talk to us about the song you were telling us topped the charted the top 20 charts in 2010. Talk to us about that song, because we want to see if we can find it and just take a look at that.
I did a song called Manga Manga, and produced it in Motor Records while we were still at Sector 2.
Right.
With when we were operating from hired premises. I'm glad to say right now, Motor Records, we are in our own apartments, and we are not paying rent. We are not going to shift tomorrow. Like that's the challenge of renting out a place. Sometimes they give you a notice, you need to move, close your studio, and that is what is affecting many studios today.
Right.
But being in our own apartments, we are there to stay. And when we were in Sector 2, we produced that song, Manga Manga, and I did a collab with one of my artists based at the studio, Miles Champion, who's a dancehall artist. But he loved, this song is kind of bongo, and he loved the song, and he requested me to give him a verse in the song.
Right.
And I told him, I'm sorry, I won't give you a verse in my song. This is my song.
Right.
But when he insisted, I gave him a verse in the song. And also, because at first I didn't think that he was going to write something that was up to what I wanted. But he also surprised me because he surpassed my expectations.
Right.
And his verse was very good. He never let me down. And we did a video with Ogopa, and the video did well. It was on many media stations, KTN and others in Kenya, and it did very well.
Right.
Yep.
Right. All right. That's good stuff. Now, talk to us about, as you know, we move away from this topic. What does the Kenyan music industry need to propel it to international standards?
What it needs is regulation and good producers, because in Kenya, it's not regulated. My neighboring producers can decide to charge 5,000 while I'm charging 10,000, while I'm charging 15,000.
Right.
So there's no regulation in Kenya. You know, we need some regulations, and as well, we need media houses to have panels of people who are able to select good music and also give feedback to the artists and tell them, we cannot accept this quality of music, but if it's a good song, we advise you to go to a good studio. But if you do good quality music, we will play your music.
Because the quality of music is also another factor that so many young artists are locked out of the potential dream careers, because, like you mentioned, for an established media house like KTN, for example, bringing bad quality just won't cut it. That's how you don't get airtime or airplay because of that.
Yeah, sure. You must invest in your music. I call it invest. You don't come to do music with change. When you spend and you have some change, you decide to walk into a studio, that won't work.
And have a mix in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and have a mix in 30 minutes, that won't work.
Yeah.
So you must invest in your music, invest good money. If you want to go to Strathmore College or to go to USIU for education, you are willing to spend 150,000 Kenya shillings per semester. But when maybe you want to come to the studio, you want to spend less. If you want to make it in the music industry, you have to be willing to invest in your music. And I have to say, the artists who are making it in Kenya, they invest in their music. They go to the best studios, and the best studios don't charge little. They charge something a little higher than average.
Right.
But they also don't give you average job. They give you something extraordinary. You know, some good quality sound that will be acceptable in a big media house like KTN. All along, I've known KTN is equivalent to quality.
Right.
The kind of shows and programs that you bring is about quality.
Right.
So if today you told me, come up with a movie or come up with a production that can be aired on KTN, I know that KTN wants quality. So I won't do something shoddy. And I'm glad that I've been able to produce something that has been acceptable in KTN and Radio Maisha. And that is what I tell my customers, the artists who come to me, that I have done videos, I have done audios that have been accepted in big media stations. So be wary the studio you go to, because you might be charged less, but the quality will not be accepted in the big media houses. And again, you'll go back to zero. You'll be discouraged because you have to look for some more money to produce your music again and
Which
to do the
would go
videos
anywhere
again. I have many artists that I am repeating their music because it was messed somewhere.
Right.
Like one lady did an album for audio and also did videos for 8 songs. But that was all a waste of time and money.
Right.
And now I'm redoing her music, doing the quality that the media accepts, and soon we are going to redo the kind of videos that the big media houses accept. And I believe, because she's talented, soon her music will be aired here.
All right, because of good quality from your production house. Okay, and I wonder if we are ready to play the song Manga Manga, director, if we are, but even as we organize that, let's talk about the power of networking, not just in music, but in entrepreneurship generally, because you were mentioning, as an entrepreneur, you don't have that fixed salary at the end of the month. You have to keep trying. So how important is the power of networking?
Very important. Very important. For me to be here today with you, Michelle, it's networking.
Right.
Yeah, you have to know somebody who knows Michelle, and Michelle has to know that somebody who knows some
you.
G.
Yes.
And says, I would like to interview some G, the young millionaire, the producer. You have to network for you to make it or to go far.
Right.
For you to get a job somewhere, you need to network. For you to sell your plots, you need to network. And with the new technology, it's become easier to network.
Right.
Because you join WhatsApp groups, you are in Facebook, you have friends, and that networking is very important. That's how you get customers, and that's how you get to go far. It's very important.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And, just even as we talk about networking, there's also a strategy to networking, because you can know people. You can know a million people who don't necessarily help you get somewhere.
Yep.
So, what is the strategy, how do you strategize in that kind of networking? Because you have to know people in higher places normally. Yeah.
Sure. I read a book called Network Your Way to Success. For you to be successful, you must network. And one of the ways to network is you have to attend seminars or conferences that are related to what you do. If you hear of any seminar or a concert, you must attend such kind of an event that you're interested in. If you would like to work for an airline and there is a conference or a seminar held by an airline, then you need to attend that seminar. And as well, you need to have business cards. Even if you're not employed, there is something, you are an expert of something, and that business card as well gives your contacts. So it's good to have business cards and to give them out in the seminars. And you need to talk to people and try to remember the people. It's when you're given a card by someone, sometimes it's okay, like I read in that book, you ask them if you can write some details behind the card, because it's not courteous to mess somebody's business card without their permission. So before you write anything behind that business card, request the person who gave you the business card. Can I jot down something that can remind me about this meeting today? And as well, don't jot down something, then take 1 year before you talk to that person.
Right.
It's good to keep in touch with those people through SMS, through Facebook, and through all media. Keep in touch with the people you need. And once you keep in touch, they remember you. But don't take 1 year or 2 years, then talk to somebody, they won't remember you.
Yeah, that's when you only call someone when you need them, but you never contact them, at any other time.
No, in networking yourself to success, it's not just about what you need. It's also about the other person, what they need. So in networking, it's not a pessimistic relationship. It's about symbiosis and about being of help to the other person.
Right.
So if you know the other person needs something, offer help or offer what the other person needs. So think about the need of the other person and try to meet that need. You will be successful in your networking. But if you're just parasitic and just only calling that person when you need them, I don't think that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's bad networking.
Sure.
All right, and Doc, let's talk about, of course, you've been an entrepreneur for quite a while now. What has been, say, your lowest moment in entrepreneurship?
I have to say, my lowest moment is, I believe, 2012, when I underwent a redundancy in an airline that I gave all my time to, because as well, the airline used to give me some money to capital to boost my business.
Right.
So at that moment, I believe that was the lowest moment because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go or where to get capital from. But I overcame that, and I accepted it because you have to accept it. When there is a downturn or when business is not doing well, you have to accept it and ask yourself, what am I going to do from this point onwards? And I have a big sister who encourages me and tells me, I know of someone who never accepted it some time back, who lost their job, and in 2 years, they were dead. There are complications that come from stress. And for me, and I remember as well, when we underwent the redundancy, someone told us, be careful. You might have some problems or some diseases that when you get there's some money we are supposed to be given.
Right.
When you get your money, you will go to treat your sicknesses instead of investing your money. So it's good to accept it and be peaceful about it and see what you can do and how you can rise from that situation.
All right. And let's talk to us about, when you have such low moments, of course, you can decide to persevere and get through it and build your business still. But there's also that point in business where things have hit a really low point and it's just a sign for you that you need to look into a totally different direction. So where does one draw the line there? When something, when things go bad in entrepreneurship, where does one know I should stay here and focus on this path, or it's just time to look at something different?
Well, in business, sometimes there is a downturn. There are times that you feel you're not making much. But I advise for patience, because when there is a downturn and you're going through some turbulence, maybe it will take 30 minutes, it will take maybe, I'm talking about flying, that's why I'm saying 30 minutes. You know, in flying 30 minutes is a lot of time, or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But when you're going through turbulence, if you're patient, you go through it, and again, you're settled. In business, it might take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, or 3 months. But if you're not able to meet your basic needs for about 6 months, then maybe you need to look into your business,
Right.
and maybe you need to do something else. But as well, I say in business, the problem with our investments and our approach to business is that you want to begin the business today and make profit tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
It doesn't work like that. From my experience in the airline, they told us sometimes you open a new route and you make losses for 6 months or even 1 year.
Wow.
And you need to be ready to make losses for 1 year before you start making profits. So I learned something from that. In business as well, you be ready, be prepared, because many people are not prepared. When you take a shop in town to start selling clothes, you need maybe to pay for it for 6 months or for 1 year.
Right.
How many people can persevere that to make no profit for 6 months or for 1 year?
And you keep in mind that you also have to keep adding money to
Yep.
keep that business running as much as it's not making profit.
Yes, so part of your planning in the business has to be about 1 year, 6 months to 1 year, I will not make profits. And then also you need to give yourself a timeline. If I don't make profits for 1 year or for this period of time, then I'm going to try something else.
Right.
If you are prepared in the beginning, you will not be disappointed. Because there's no business that will make profits that quickly, because your customer base is low. You need to build your customer base, and that comes with time. And also your strategy. If you start a shop in town, you need to get out and talk to people, go to offices and talk to people to know about your business. So that period when you're talking to people and getting a customer base, that time you must expect that the income will not be that good. But with time, if you see that your income is going up, if you're making 10,000, start making 15,
Right.
start making 20, then that is a good sign. And you need to keep at it, and you need to keep doing it. Because it seems there's something better coming every time.
Right.
Yep.
And I'd also like us to speak about how entrepreneurs should pay themselves vis-a-vis how to manage the profits and also the kind of investments to make once the business has picked up. But before that, let's take a listen to Manga Manga, the video that Samji